We've all heard the advice, you need to prioritize self-care. But how do you actually do that? And what does self-care actually mean? A lot of times, self-care doesn't just mean taking a bubble bath. It means doing the things that actually need to be done. But sometimes there are elements of self-care that can be a little bit more fun and are a little bit more tangible. And that's exactly what I'm going to talk about in this video. If you're new here, my name is Dr. Karin Nordin, and I'm a PhD level expert on mindset and behavior change. The items that I'm going to talk about today aren't just based in my personal experience or my own life. There's actually a decent bit of science, and as I explain why I recommend each one of these things, I'll talk through the science behind that recommendation. With that said, let's go ahead and dive in. One of my favorite items for self-care is earplugs or any kind of noise canceling device. I used to just use my Apple AirPods and that worked great for a while, but then I realized I was walking around my house with my Apple AirPods on noise canceling mode and I wasn't actually listening to anything, so I decided to try out these loop earplugs. Let me be clear that this video is not sponsored by any company. These are just my personal choices and things that I really enjoy, and so I wanted to pass on this wisdom to you. What I really like about these particular earplugs is they are genuinely noise canceling, and they actually have a couple different modes that can help you choose what level of noise you want. Here's the science behind this choice. A lot of us are living in a world of constant overstimulation. We are hearing and seeing and engaging with things all of the time. And we don't have any time to hear our own thoughts or recognize our own internal monologue. We really don't have time in our day that's dedicated to pure and total silence. That is where earplugs come in. When I'm going for my daily walk, when I'm cooking dinner, in these moments where I'm transitioning between activities, I will sometimes put these headphones in so I can get a dose of that total silence. And let me tell you, it always helps me think way more clearly. We also work in our coaching program with quite a few parents. And if you're a parent, you probably know parenting is an overstimulating activity. There are always people talking. One of the features of these earplugs is that you can turn them on a setting where you can hear what people are saying, but everything is kind of toned down. If you're feeling overstressed, if you're feeling overstimulated, this might be something that you can use for self-care that you might not have ever thought of before. If you've used these before and if you love them, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, throughout this video, I'd also love to hear what your favorite self-care items are so that I can check them out. Let's move on to number 2, which is any kind of daily awakening deck. Now, I have this one. I bought it a couple of years ago. I will link it with an affiliate Amazon link just in case you want to check it out. But really, any daily awakening deck is going to be a great choice. What this is just a whole bunch of cards, and I randomly draw a card on the mornings where I need to be a little bit more grounded. They have prompts on them. So for example, this one says, "Are you willing to begin again today?" So I might think about, where are the things that I need to treat as a new beginning today? What can I do to think about the idea of new beginnings throughout my day? If you're someone who's working on cognitive skills like cognitive diffusion, they also make specific ACT and CBT related daily awakening cards that give you a prompt related to those tools every single morning. This is a great way to get yourself thinking. It's a great way to shift your perspective and get out of that autopilot mentality where you're always looking at your day in the exact same way. It's also just kind of fun. It takes 2 or 3 minutes to draw a card and think through these things, and whatever comes up for you can be an indication of what your brain is sort of subconsciously thinking about. So it can really help you get to know yourself. Self-care item number 3 is going to be one for my seasonal depression girlies or people who live in a place where you're not getting much daylight. I myself am someone who has struggled with depression in the past and in particular has struggled with seasonal depression. I went to college in Minnesota, so it's pretty much a guarantee there. And what this is it is a specific light that is designed to help reinforce your circadian rhythm. I'm not going to turn it on because I don't know how the camera will pick it up, but you just press this button and you can set it for 10, 20, 30, 40, etc. number of minutes. When I'm sitting in the morning, in the winter, in my chair right over here, drinking my coffee, I will turn this on and it actually helps me wake up and feel more alert in the morning. There is evidence that some of these lamps can be helpful for seasonal depression, although there's not a ton of evidence, and the evidence is mostly anecdotal. I personally find when I'm using this on a regular basis that it does help. This is also great to put in your suitcase if you're traveling internationally, or it's a great tool to use if you're working on waking up earlier, because exposure to light is one of the things that regulates our circadian rhythm and tells our bodies when morning actually is. This specific type of light is the exact type of light your eyes need to see. It mimics sunlight, although it's not exactly the same. It can be incredibly helpful in adjusting your circadian rhythm to a place where it's actually matching when you want to be awake. So definitely check this one out. The next thing is, of course, something people ask me about all the time, and that's going to be my daily planner. I put this in my Instagram stories basically every day. Every single day I get a DM from someone asking, Karin, what planner do you use? This particular planner is called The Daily. It is from a creator on Instagram and TikTok. I'll put her handle up here so that you can go ahead and check it out. What I really like about this planner is it's truly a daily planner. There's a column for your to-do list and there's a column for your schedule. Every single morning, I copy my daily schedule into this planner and I write my top 1 or 2 tasks to keep track of them so that I can cross them off before I go on to anything else. There's also a space in this planner for a weekly meal plan, which is something I do, to plot out your exercise for the week, which is also something I do. And I generally just like how the planner is very, very heavy and has thick pages, which is something that's important to me since I write with a lot of pen. Having a daily check-in routine where I ground myself, drink my coffee, copy in my schedule, and write down my to-do list is absolutely critical for my self-care. And I know that for a lot of our clients, it's the same exact thing. Too many people are jumping into their day without taking a chance to reflect and check in with themselves. And when you do that, you miss the opportunity to A, anticipate any obstacles that you might encounter, and B, get a sense of where you're actually at. You don't have to use a daily planner in order to do that, and you certainly don't have to use this specific one. From my understanding, it's only sold once a year, so if you're looking for a similar design, I highly recommend you check out Day Designer because they have the closest thing to this planner that I've seen before. The very last item that I really love for self-care is any kind of journal. Currently, I am using this self-reflection journal, which is by this creator right here, and I'm actually really loving it. One of the things that I love about this journal is that there's blank pages for the most part so that you can get out whatever thoughts that you need to get out. But there's also prompts in the very beginning of the journal, so if you run out of things to write about or you're not sure what direction journaling is supposed to go, you can use the prompts that she has available for you. Here's the thing, if you're gonna do a journaling practice, I would recommend figuring out what most resonates for you. Do you like open journaling, where there's just a piece of paper and you're journaling your thoughts? Or do you like a more guided approach? If you happen to be looking for a more guided approach and you want that guided approach to be guided by science, I highly recommend checking out our Change Academy membership. You can start your 3-day free trial using the link in the description, and in that membership, at the beginning of every quarter, we release brand new journal prompts that correlate with whatever theme we're covering. We're on a different theme every single 90 days. These prompts are based in science, they're used with our coaching program so we know they're effective, and they're specifically designed to help you do the work of becoming and become the person that you've always wanted to be. Like I said, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What are your favorite self-care items that help you be that person you want to be and live an intentional life? I'm always looking for recommendations, so definitely let me know. And otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.